Hi, my name is Jennifer Ramsey, and today I would like to talk to you a little bit about the West Texas Film Commission, what it is, how it emerged, and how it ties into what I call film as pedagogy, which is how we've used film for learning in the classroom. The origins of the West Texas Film Commission began really in around 2002. I was working in a school district with 54 different language groups. And I had students at varying levels of English proficiency. And so in trying to get them to understand that their stories were valid and that their ability to communicate was important and needed to be heard, we used cell phones. And they weren't even allowed to have cell phones, so usually it was my cell phone. Or really cheap video recorders that we were supposed to be using to record speeches. And we started going out on campus and making little movies, maybe documentaries, maybe a nonverbal piece, maybe a poetry piece. And I really strongly encourage them to incorporate things from their culture into the video making process. And what I began to see was that students who felt very disengaged from the academic process became very excited about filmmaking and media and their role in it. And for those students, it became a catalyst for language because they had to give me a pitch, they had to write a script, they had to go through the whole process of making a movie. Even if it was a short one, or sometimes they would do a commercial or a PR thing. But whatever it was, the video technology became very accessible and very easy for them to get their voice out. And then through that, we would see their language skills greatly improve. So I kind of stumbled into film from that. A few years later, jumping ahead to about 2013, I was given a very unique opportunity to chair a department of communication. It was actually hired as a speech instructor, and as we were trying to get some courses back into the core curriculum and resurrect some programs and re-innovate some things, we went ahead and took a risk and decided to create a mass communication or revise a mass communication program that had been dead in the water for a while, but it wasn't completely out the door. And so we got some new courses, a media literacy class, intro to communication class, and then we adopted in, without any equipment or technology, a full repertoire of video production, that as many as that they would let us put into the curriculum. And we started with cell phones. We've now grown to DSLRs, and we have a nice set of equipment, and we have some fancy editing computers now. But back in the day, about 3 years ago, we really almost had nothing. And so we wanted to show our students, though, that, your voice, same message, your voice is important, and we want to help you get that voice out. And it became our most popular program in the department. The department went from 0 to 55 majors through that program within 12 months. We were able to hire a full-time media professor. He's a wonderful man named Harlan Watley. And he has worked really hard in developing this program with us. And these students have begun producing work. And so, because I believe in authentic assessment, which I talk about in other videos, we decided to create some kind of scenario where not only could our students be exposed to a diverse kind of set of films that wouldn't emerge for them readily, they weren't going to be the kind of films you see at the big movie theater, basically don't involve superheroes at all, not usually anyway. We decided the best way to do that would be to really basically try to bring some independent film to West Texas. I live in Odessa in Midland, and at the time of this recording anyway, and we needed to figure out how to expose them to more, because most of them were not seeing their culture reflected. They weren't seeing a career path for themselves. People were telling them, oh, you'll never go to college, or there'll never be a job in media, or there'll never be a job in film for you if you stay in West Texas. They say the same thing about gaming, which is a new area we're going into now, but in terms of our thought process with them. But what was happening was we wanted to basically dangle a carrot in front of them and say, hey, if we'll let you take this video production class, but you have to also take this core class in math or speech or reading or writing, so that we can get you through a college degree at the same time. So you will have a job in something, so you can then do filmmaking as a hobby, or if you're lucky, you'll be doing it full time. And so what we began to see was students who didn't believe college was for them would enter this program. And so in that, we wanted to make the program expand to include strategic communication like advertising and PR, And we wanted to give them an opportunity to meet people that would be like them. So they might not jump straight, well, they're not going to jump usually straight from, doing a student film to being a major producer in LA. And a lot of them had never heard of or seen LA because they're from other places. And so we were like, they need to be exposed to independent film. And we both knew how powerful that could be. Harlan had been a film festival affectioner for many years. He's done his own work and been in festivals. I had started attending festivals, but there wasn't one in West Texas. And so through a very generous grant from the Odessa Arts Council, we were able to found the West Texas Film Festival, and we founded a supporting organization to put that on that we called the West Texas Film Commission. Primarily only expecting to run a small 1 or 2 day festival that our students could then be exposed to some different films. So it was primarily for them and the community around us. But we wanted to bring diverse films to Odessa. And then we also wanted to stimulate people in the West Texas area to produce work here. At this time, Sicario was coming out, I believe, and some others that were filmed in New Mexico, which is very close to us, but the tax incentives are better there. And so we weren't getting those contracts in our area. And so basically we wanted to begin to expose our community as well, as a place that maybe movie making could happen. And so we launched the first West Texas Film Festival, and we had a ball doing it. It was just a ton of fun, and it was a learning process. But what that began to do was it brought, we had 500 entries the first year. And I think we selected films from 48 countries. And so our students had the chance to review these films, evaluate these films. That gave them a chance to say what was good, what wasn't, what met their bar. They have a huge voice in what gets selected. And it gets them exposed to all these different genres and all these different kinds of movies that allows them to then think of things they want to make. And then we offer it to the community. And so it's a kind of a community service project. And so the tickets are very cheap. I think our festival ran for $30 a ticket this year. And so community members can come in for 2 days, see that. Then we began to bring in filmmakers. If they were in Texas or could get here in any way, shape, or form, we would pay for their travel because the grant allowed that. And they would do workshops for students in the area. So the local school district got real interested in that, and they began busing in their students, not just in filmmaking, but in the news and comm production, and then photography, animation, and gaming. And a lot of these students really don't have much of an outlet out here because there's not a lot of employers out here that are using these skills or that know that they want them. And so they began busing them in, and then those students began asking about majoring in our program, so we grew really quickly. And then we've begun to use our students in advertising and public relations to put on the festival. So they might be out there selling ads or running the events and all of that. So it's become a really fun way to engage our students. And what has happened now is the Film Commission is starting to be taken kind of seriously. So we are actually putting a board together at the time of this video right now. And we're going to start working on how to get that aspect of bringing industry here a little bit more in focus than it has been. And local filmmakers have emerged through this commission. They've started to engage with each other. They've started to work on projects together. And so it's been really exciting to see that happen. In fact, that's probably my favorite part of it. And then now that we've got some things online, we've actually been contacted here and there by professional studios that are going to come through and shoot something or interested in a location out here. And a few times, some of our students have been able to work on some of those shows and projects. And so it has just really changed things. And then we founded this, we've run 2 festivals. We're working on our 3rd annual one. And it has just been a blast. So that's a really strong example that I can think of how we have been able to put a real life project together that's a larger community project. And I am seeing film change students' lives because I've seen students who didn't think college was for them master their associates and go on and get a 4-year degree. I've seen students who didn't feel like they had a voice become a PA on a set and find out that, oh, I do have a voice and this is really fun and these people treated me well and I would like to work for them. I've had students decide to transfer to Austin, Atlanta, Dallas. I've had one go to a university in California. And they're all just, they've gone from almost not being college ready to either getting a 4-year degree or going straight into a profession that they love. So, and it's happened very quickly. So I'm really excited to see where film can take us in the future. It's my strongest love. It's my strongest passion project. So whenever I take an applied learning project in any of my classes, I often use a film making process. Like, you guys go get together and make a video about this. And I'm finding students of all ages, I teach a lot of dual credit as well, really engage in this, and they get really excited when they get a chance to do that. And so, and I'm a parent, and I'm watching my boys grow up, and they're in middle school, approaching middle school. They're not quite there yet. But I will say that they are on YouTube all the time. That the visual communication of filmmaking is definitely the language of this generation. And I do realize that the industry is changing a lot right now. But I think there's a wide opportunity for the strong, young, independent filmmaker to find a voice, and a lot of opportunity for film and education can meet and really create new career paths for kids, especially kids in the regions out here who may not even know things exist. That's why Film Commission is important, and the one that we started, we think is really important in bringing it to them, so that they can begin to say, hey, I might want to go check out what's going on in Austin or Dallas or San Antonio, getting them to look a little further if this is their passion. So anyway, that's the story of the West Texas Film Commission. I get asked about that a lot, and I'm very excited to share it. Eventually, film as pedagogy will become a thing people hear a lot from me about. So because I'm seeing it change lives. Have a great day, and hope to talk to you again soon.